you find yourself regularly battling with things like anxiety, irregular digestion, and unable to focus, here's the thing. In Ayurveda, we call that the Vata constitution. So stay tuned because we're going to dive into all the ways Ayurveda has to help you stay more balanced. Hi, I'm Dr. Shivani Gupta. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner who's here to show you how to use the Ayurveda Toolkit to revamp your health. So within the Vata Dosha, or the three Ayurvedic constitutions, we have three different types: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So if you want to learn more about the others, I have whole videos on those. Also check out my intro on all the doshas. But in this video, we're diving deep into the Vata Dosha. What Vata means is air and ether. So in nature, air and ether is always flowing, always moving. And so if you imagine what that means in your body, that's you breathing all the time. That's your heartbeat beating continuously. There's a lot of autonomic processes, automatic processes happening in our body, regardless of what we're doing. And that movement through our system, that blood flow, everything is called Vata energy. And so let's talk about the physical characteristics of a Vata person. This person tends to be tall and slender, the lean body type. This is someone who might be taller or shorter than anyone else in their demographic. They tend to have long oval features or a longer face than most people. Thinner bones, little fragile system in terms of fragile bones and thinner features overall. A Vata person will tend to have brittle or dry hair or rough hair. They're going to have a tendency to have dry skin, cold hands, cold feet. So think about that for yourself. Does that kind of describe who you are? A Vata person is going to have a tendency of having a lot of energy. So emotionally, this is someone who's joyful, they're vibrant, they're always in motion, they're extroverted. They want to be out there. They want to be out with people. They don't want to be sedentary and alone and inside. They want to be out in the world and doing great things. And so aligning to this Vata energy is very important. And then also understanding that a Vata person tends to be creative. They tend to be out there talking, moving, doing things, but they also, if they're not supported, have some imbalances. And so think through yourself, are you someone who's always out there, always in motion? When you feel balanced, you might feel very joyful and energetic. When you feel out of balance, you might feel tired, lethargic, irregular digestion, irregular appetite, irregular eating. Another imbalance of Vata is disturbed sleep, irregular sleep or light sleep patterns, tendency towards insomnia or nightmares. So if that kind of describes you, we're going to dive into all the different ways Ayurveda has for this Vata body type to get the support you need, to be more grounded and more centered and more supported overall. So we talked about a lot of the different ways Vata can feel imbalanced in the body. Let me give you a couple examples of how I have met people and how I've dealt with them when they have Vata imbalances. I was doing private Ayurveda consultations, and this woman came in and her energy was like a tornado. It was like literally someone was fidgeting, moving, unable to sit still. She talked 100 miles a minute. She had a long, lean body and lean features. And I immediately thought, classic Vata. And it's actually hard as a practitioner to ground someone who has Vata energy like that and support them to actually pause and listen to the toolkit from Ayurveda that can help balance them. I've met others who are Vatas, who have a tendency towards anxiety, irregular digestion, and sleep, but they've put all the habits in place that they know are the boundaries and the toolkit they need to stay balanced in their energy. And even I myself, I'm a Pitta dosha primary, but Vata is my second dosha. And over 90% of us have a tendency in the West towards a Vata imbalance because life is designed around us to create a Vata imbalance between social media, the news, the level and the pace of modern day life causes Vata imbalances. And so even I myself will tune in and say, you know what? You're going a little nuts. You're making your whole team crazy. You're going a little too fast for everyone. Settle down. And so I have a lot of tools I've put in place for myself just to balance my own Vata tendencies throughout the day, because I know that the punishment of staying imbalanced in Vata is pretty big. The punishment of staying imbalanced in any of the doshas is pretty big. But when you're Vata, instead of being your lively, creative, joyful self, you have these tendencies to not complete what you want, not feel great, and be more anxious and stressed and overwhelmed. And so anytime you feel that leaning over towards that, and you feel like, gosh, my skin is not feeling good, my hair, everything's feeling weird, my sleep's not good, my digestion's not good, take that as a sign, like, you know what, maybe the car is going a little too fast and I need to slow it down a little bit. I need to take it out of sixth gear that doesn't really exist, come back into fifth and come towards fourth. And the way we do that, the way we slow the roll to get balanced and balance that Vata movement energy is using the Ayurveda toolkit. So let's talk about the top 5 ways to balance Vata energy in the body. The number 1 way is to eat 3 square meals a day. That sounds easy for most of us, but if you're a Vata person, this sounds like really hard homework because it's the opposite of what you currently do. So the homework for Vata is 3 square meals a day, eating a diet that's rich in fall foods, warming foods, grounding foods. Eating healthy fats 3 times a day. So we have very specific food recommendations, grain recommendations, even herbs and spices recommendations. We have a lot of recommendations specific towards the foods that a Vata person eats to stay grounded and stay supportive. So that's number 1. Number 2, the spices that you incorporate should be warm and grounding as well. So in Ayurveda, we have ginger, we have coriander. Well, coriander is cooling. We have ginger, turmeric. We have all these different spices, cumin, that have a warming effect in the body. And using those can be very supportive in the foods that you make. Number 3, using herbal teas as this warming habit that you incorporate into your life. I think of it as tea time is me time. Tea time is me time is when I stop 5 times a day. That's how much tea I drink. And I have that warming cup of tea and I check in with myself. It's like a mindful moment and a grounding moment throughout my day where I just check in and say, what do I need to feel good today? And then I implement that. Number 4, using sleep as a tool to support yourself, but investing in that sleep. So deep sleep tea, sleep hygiene rituals. A Vata person will have a tendency to go really fast all day and then crash. But then they might not get the deep sleep they need to be supported for the next day. So Ayurveda shows us a lot of different grounding techniques, maybe a warm bath, maybe a different tea that you have at night for sleep. All those different things that you do will line up and settle the mind for a better night's sleep. And then finally, the self-care rituals. In Ayurveda, we have something called dinacharya, the daily self-care rituals that help you feel incredible and detox and support the body. So using those different rituals, meditation, yoga, ujjayi deep breathing is very powerful. But my favorite for the Vata person is called abhyang. Abhyang is self-massage. You basically lay down a towel, take sesame oil, and gift it to your body. But by putting oil on the tops of your feet and the rest of the body, you're going to ground yourself for a better night's sleep. These are the top 5 ways I have to support Vata that you can start to implement today. In Ayurveda, we actually have a much larger toolkit because Vata Dosha is so many of our issues. Vata is something that's happening in modern day times that's really setting us up to feel overwhelmed, stressed, and get burnt out. And so using these different tools as a beginning step is a great way to get your Vata energy supported and get you more grounded today. Embracing your Vata nature isn't just about managing its challenges. It's about optimizing for the gifts that you have. A Vata person's enthusiastic, they're joyful, they're extroverted, creative. And so if that's you, use the different tools we talked about in this video and start to see for yourself how you can feel more grounded and centered and calm and collected within your own body, mind, energy, emotions, everything. If you like this video and you want to know more about your dosha, visit my website, drshivani.com, to take the dosha quiz and confirm, is this your primary dosha? Also, you can book a consultation with me if you want to dive much deeper and clarify what's your primary dosha, what's your secondary, and what is a custom plan for you to help implement the tools you need to balance your constitution. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who you think in your life needs this today to help them balance their constitution and feel more balanced, centered, and healthy overall. Ayurveda has an incredible toolkit for all of us, and having the self-knowledge of your constitution can be the perfect next step in your health journey that can transform everything and give you the vibrant health that you deserve. See you next time.